My name is Alan Patterson, and I have the pleasure to be interviewing Adrienne Prince, who is a wonderful longtime friend and someone who I admire greatly. She is a writer, spiritual coach, and has created a thing called Team GAIA, which I'm a member of. Hello, Adrienne.
Hi, Alan.
It's really nice to see you today. You're looking really good.
Thanks, you too.
And you're a writer and spiritual coach, and you've created Team GAIA. Tell us a little bit more about Team GAIA, please.
Okay, thanks. Well, Team Gaia is an international community of people who are committed to using their spiritual abilities for the benefit of the planet. Um, there's been this long-term debate. The political people are kind of closeted spiritually, and the spiritual people don't really like talking about politics. But there are some of us in the world who have known all our lives or are awakening to the fact that we are here to serve the planet and that it's actually really very fun because we love Mama Gaia so much that the world predicament that we're in is something that we're dedicated to solving on the spiritual level.
Thank you. That really does help people understand what Team GAIA is. Just as a reply to that question, does it mean to you to be awakening?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you so much. Wow. Well, I do think that awakening is almost a problematic term. It's super annoying. It's like, am I awake? Am I awake? But I do feel that when when you have an awakening, sometimes it's an unpleasant awakening, and that was pretty much how mine was. For me, awakening means that the parameters of the world that you were living in no longer fit you. And so the state of consciousness that you now occupy is so much bigger than the one that you used to accept that it feels like coming awake. But I feel that we're always in a position or a process of awakening and awakening and awakening. Some would say every moment. I would say, periodically, you come to that understanding that the space that you occupied yesterday was much more limited than the space that you are in today. And I would call that awakening.
The second question that came out of that other question, and actually leads on from the question I just asked, can you tell me what this feeling is like, as if it's from the center of your heart, traveling out to everything and everyone, including the definition of Gaia? How is Gaia connected to you, and what is Gaia? And then how is Gaia connected to everything else, into the oneness of everything, if you can possibly answer that?
Oh, I love it. Well, the way that I am best accessing Gaia in a profound way, well, first of all, when people go out into nature, they can feel that there's something special going on. There's something bigger, there's something resonant, there's something easy, there's something natural, as you could say, going on out in nature for them. But the way that my mind was finally able to understand the powerful medicine of Gaia was when I learned about toroidal fields and electromagnets. And also, I recognized from an early age that the one thing that all creatures have in common, and especially mammals, is a heartbeat. So I knew that anyone in any part of the world, no matter how little we might seem to have in common, that they have a heartbeat and I have a heartbeat. And as I started to understand that the heartbeat creates a field, I could tell that the higher three chakras and the lower three chakras, there was something about the heart that was much more profound and different than the other chakras. that there was a magnetic resonance, which of course people like the Heart Math Institute have now really put the science behind to help us understand what that is. So basically, for whatever reason, the heart is like an electromagnet. It emits a charge about 40 times greater, they say, than that of the brain. So whether we know it or not, we are already driven by our hearts, and our hearts are where we're interconnected. Well, it just so happens, I'm sure you will remember from grade school, that the Earth itself is a giant electromagnet. So the electromagnetism of our hearts and the electromagnetism of the planet are both very, very special things, and those that creates a harmonic and a resonance and a grounding that the intellect is a wonderful servant, they say, but a terrible master, and that's kind of how it is. Now, what I discovered in my childhood journeyings, which hopefully we'll talk about, is that the Earth is a special, special place in the cosmos because of these resonance fields. Whether we give the Earth credit or not, or whether the galactics give the Earth credit or not, they're here for some reason, and the reason is I feel the Earth is a sentient being, and it is actually anchoring the heart of the galaxy and, by extension, the universe. So there's something very, very precious about this Earth experience that we're having and this heart, physical human life that we're having. And it's all connected and it's all wonderful, and it's all coming home.
Wow.
Thank you.
So you're saying that the individual person is connected through multidimensional isms outside of the body that they're not aware of, the invisible person, outside of ego, which is in an internal person. They're connected. If they get past the ego, they're connected with the force of life within themselves, within others, and all sentient beings, not human beings, but sentient beings like the deer, the animals, the mountains, the grass, and Gaia itself. And then on the highest level, the universe itself is a sentient being. It senses and sees and hears and does and is. So all of that is then connected into one. So I think that's what I get from it as kind of just a layman's point of view, and I hope everybody else does. It, there was
I'm
one
so glad that
there's one word that I kind of didn't understand, and I know most words. So if I don't understand it, a lot of people might not understand it. You said thyroidal,
oh, toroidal, a
thyroidal,
toroid.
the Taurus.
Yes,
Oh, okay. So it's Taurus, yeah. And you mean the
yes,
donut, the spatial
yes,
donut.
the donut. Yes, the
Okay,
donut.
so now we should know, understand that. Again, maybe another time we'll
Thank
do your
you.
childhood journeying, which I also want to do, and we'll share that. So let's go on to another totally different question, unless you have any comment beforehand.
Well, I wanted to mention that tomorrow I will be doing what I call a world premiere webinar, where I'm going to lay out the big picture of what's going on with the planet and the shift, and how I learned about all of this through my education, whether I wanted it or not, with angels, galactics, and masters. This education came to me very young. I didn't really consciously in my earth body understand why I was part of this mission. And so that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. Let's see, what am I calling it? I think I'm calling it The Secret Mission, How Peaceful Warriors Are Shaping the Planet. And so that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow on a Google Hangout.
And who would, if someone wanted to join this hangout, which I will be there, of course, how would one access this hangout, or email, or somehow find out how to be part of this experience? That it sounds, it's like it's going to really be well worth it. If you're not there, you're pretty much square.
Thank you. Oh my gosh,
So
I
tell me
appreciate it.
how does the world get onto this hangout?
Good question. Okay, so the Hangout channel is called Team Gaia, TEAMGAIA, and hopefully you can get on over to that channel and you'll be able to sign up for it there. When I set the Hangout up, I will use a lot of keywords like ascension, consciousness, earth, peace, mystic. So hopefully people will be able to find it with their keywords. But one really good way that they can do it too, if you come to my website, team-gaia, GAIA.com, what I'll do is I'll have a little sign up form there where they can enter their email. And what I'll be able to do is to send the link to them so that they know that they can be there. I'll also send out like 1 hour before the webcast reminders with that link again so that they can come and be with me. It's going to be at 11 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. I feel like that's pretty good for all the different geo zones. It's like waking hours for most of them. And hopefully everyone will be able to come. And the point of the webinar is to really honor the job that each and every one of us is doing on the slide. We've had this secret mission. I call us the Messiah generation. We've had this wonderful secret mission, and I feel like right now is a great time to pop that out of its wrappings.
Just as I mentioned here, when you say Messiah, the Messiah is not one person. It is a group of people coming together in communion of their individual creativenesses in a state of egolessness or absolutely balanced ego. So it's almost invisible. I'd like to move on to, you had a couple of other questions.
How did you know that? How did you know that, Alan? That is correct. That's how we all designed it.
Yeah, well, I'm part of that group, and that's why I'll be on Team Gaia tonight at 6. And you're on Facebook, are you on Twitter, and are you any other social medias?
Wow, I am definitely on Facebook. Team Gaia has a chat group as well as a fan page. And of course, I'm Adrienne Prince. People can try and come and friend me. Sometimes Facebook lets people and sometimes it doesn't. But please come visit Team Gaia. Has little dolphins. It's very fun. It's got a lively chat.
Twitter, email, any other things? LinkedIn?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've got everything written down in the notes. So if people go to the notes below the video, they'll be able to find everything they need.
So if they hear this and they can't find it, then we've given you every opportunity, so you're probably not meant to be there.
Oh, shush. Here's the thing. The great thing about Google Hangouts on Air is that they will stand as a video. So it would be super, whoever can be there live, it will be super fun because I feel that the information is fresh and hot and I'm going to be telling you stuff that nobody else is talking about. And the fact that nobody else is talking about it is good news for me. So hopefully it'll be super empowering for all those people who are living in the shadows thinking that what they're doing doesn't matter. It really, really does.
I think on behalf of everybody that will hear this conversation, we thank you for holding this space your entire life, because it hasn't been easy, because I know it hasn't been easy to hold this space that we hold now. But let's move on to the next question. I know we're kind of getting on in time.
That was so beautiful. Thank you for that compliment.
So the next one is, what is Team Gaia's purpose? What is the ultimate goal, destiny? What is the driving force? What is, in the most succinct, shortest, simplest terms, the purpose of Team Gaia?
Oh, thank you. Okay, there's a couple of purposes. One of the most practical ones is that I feel that each of us has a knowing. And from time to time when we're awakening, we know that we know. But what the purpose of Team Gaia is to help you know that you know that you know. So you can know that this is your mission, this is what you came for, and within that mission, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing that we've architected. You all you have to do is fully be yourself and pursue your passions, and allow yourself to prosper. And because of the way that resonances and frequencies work, simply by being yourself, really being yourself, full spectrum, we are raising the bar, we're raising the frequencies on the planet. And I have a lot of evidence that shows that the structure that the cabal has created simply disintegrates in the presence of the higher frequencies. And if there is like a parasitic and aspect to that, high frequency also repels that. So it's really exciting because all of the crystal children and the indigo children and all of us star seed people, all we're really called to do is be ourselves fully and completely. So what Team Gaia does is it gives us a forum and like an anchor to know that you know that you know. My ultimate goal is that we have healed the planet to make it safe to travel. And now we know each other, know where to find each other, know the kind of land and travel opportunities and homestays, live events for simply enjoying each other internationally. So that's a big part of it, is that this is an international endeavor of creating sort of I want to say fraternity, but in the larger sense, um, a, a sense of community that's international, so people can visit each other and go do fun stuff with each other on a planet that has been healed. And I'm intending that we're doing this within our lifetime, really within the next year or a few months. Um, and there's a
Now,
lot to be done, but it's all doing itself.
it's already happened. We just have to awaken that it's already happened.
Exactly.
You brought up some questions from your question there. When you say we at Team Gaia is there to help you understand yourself, we're not imprinting or propagandizing. We allow you the space to find yourself completely disattached from anybody else. We're not trying to say be good, be bad, be whatever.
I
Do
know
this.
that's so
Do we
important.
like corn on the cob or anything like that? We just say, just be yourself, find yourself. We can show you what certain things are, but you're the person who actually drinks from the cup of yourself, and you can't lie to yourself.
Yeah, and we can really only show them what it is for us. What I'm here to do is to really, tomorrow we'll be discussing the 3 myths that a lot of social progressives accidentally fall into, that actually hold us back and make us play small. And so, yeah, we're not here to prescribe any lifestyle. We can only tell you what works for us. But what I am here to do is to just kind of go knock, knock, knock. Good morning, wakey, wakey. Let's play. And especially to help the people who don't know that they know. I want you to know that you do know.
The other thing that came up with me is religion is to me is a 4-letter word, because religion is just love, and all the books, if they were to be burned, would be love. So when we're talking about a mission like Team Gaia, it could be thought of as a cult, a religion, a spirituality, a philosophy. But to me, this is none of it. It is like the new version of a program. It has no identity other than simply upgrade of your DNA into a state of your own self, whatever that is. Is that correct?
I would say so. I think my agenda with this is mostly social. I want to start a dialogue that's really been kind of forbidden. Like I said, the political people are very secretive with their spirituality. The spiritual people don't want to talk politics because it's a downer. And I actually think that almost all of us in this generation were born. I Cult, yeah. We don't want a cult. I don't want a cult. No, what I want is a social group. I want friends who know friends who play around the world. That's my deal.
So basically, what you're saying in, I suppose, the anarchist term is that you want everyone to be completely and utterly free to be themselves, but yet take the consequences of those actions. You know, karma. If you're a bad person, bad things happen to you. If you're a good person, you get good things happening to you. If you're a good person that has to do a bad thing, you take that responsibility. There's no law other than God. And if you are truly in touch with God, no human law is necessary whatsoever. If you kill someone in anger, you're going to go to somewhere bad or have a life or be in jail. If you kill someone protecting your wife who wants to kill her or rape her, that's self-defense. And I can stand up in court of law, in any court of law, and say, it was either I kill him or he killed my wife.
Oh man, it's you making me think jokes about long-term marriage. Like, what do you do
No,
if
no,
you
no.
want
I
to
don't
kill?
mean. What if it was what if it's you as my dearest friend? I don't. I'm not married to you. I don't. You're my sister
Okay,
from the same
thank you.
mother.
Stop it. Stop.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
you can cut that, edit it, whatever you want to do with it. So the next
I
one.
know. Thank
Uh, how did you? What? How, it's a two-part question. How did you come up with Team Gaia, and what in your life facilitated even the concept arising within you?
Good point. Okay, thank you. And I want this to be the last question because I really don't want to wear people out.
I got,
I
I got one more question, and
no,
then if you
okay,
do a conclusion, and then we could say goodbye. So the second
okay,
question, you can mix these together. The last question is, oh well, actually the fourth one we've already done. So if you could just do that question, a conclusion, and then we'll just say goodnight to the viewers, and that'll be the end of the conversation.
okay. Alan, can you repeat the questions again because I just got confused.
Okay. How did you first come about Team Gaia, the concept, and what in your life sort of was the catalyst for this to arise within you? A conclusion, please, of our whole discussion after that.
Okay, please. I can only hold a certain number of thoughts in my head. Okay, to make the longest story short, we'll get into the longer story a little tomorrow. But basically, I had run for office with the Green Party in my county. And I noticed that political activism has a lot of stuff in it that is not that fun. And especially the way that we were doing it. It's like endless phone conferences, and then you go out and you march and you freezing your ass off, and it's cold and it's wet, and maybe you get arrested, and that's not that fun either. And I thought, this shit isn't even working. So what are we going to do? And I thought, if there was some way to gamify the whole process of changing the world, if there was some, because there is no doubt that the world is going to have to get significantly different if we're going to make it through the next 100 years. Period. No doubt about it at all. But how we get to that different world has been subject of hot debate on all levels of society. So I was no exception to that. When I first received my calling, as I mentioned earlier, I was receiving visitations from beings from other dimensions. I would call them angels, some were ascended masters, and some were just transmissions or even a galactic council. So I was informed at a pretty young age, because of the bomb, basically, that humans were in a very precarious position where our technology was greater than our spiritual advancement to handle it. And if that isn't like the whole story of the 80s, I don't know what is. So that's basically the all life, all living creatures are in a process of evolution, and humanity right now is at a really really strange crossroads because we are in between the third chakra, the third chakra, solar plexus, paradigm, which was power over and dominion. And that was perfect for creating infrastructure. But now the true occupant, our true selves, the one who lives in our heart, now needs to move in. It's kind of like how a nautilus builds its shell bigger and bigger, and it doesn't know that it's time to build a bigger shell until the small shell is too small and uncomfortable to contain it. So that's how we are. But we're at that strange static we have been for about 25 or 30 years between radio stations, where the third dimension radio station is kind of fading out, but the fourth one is still kind of kicking in. And so in between those radio stations, you get kind of, and that is kind of what our world has been like for the past 30 years. We have not really evolved all the way into that stable heart resonance place. And when we do, we'll truly be home. You know, a lot of mystics think we need to develop our third eye and our crown chakra, and that's all well and good. But the part that's going to actually make us have a planet to live on is the heart. So I realized that we needed to gamify this and have a little fun with it, because it really is meant to be fun. It's really scary sometimes. There's so many scary things in this world, and there's such a sense of crisis. But I know that once we activate the heart and our higher selves come on board, everything's going to be awesome. And then we'll all get to travel.
Wow. Wow. I definitely think, and I really want to reiterate this from me to you and to everybody else. This is not a cult. This is not a religion. It's not a spirituality. It's not a philosophy. It's a way of life when you become a true sentient being and a human being of Mother Earth, Gaia, and the universe is yours. Now, is there any conclusion you wish to add to our discussion that you have not already done?
Thank you guys so much. That was a super fun conversation, and I'm probably going to stop the broadcast in a couple of moments unless you have anything you'd like to add.
Only
that could be a major question.
Sorry, the only thing I have is thank you for allowing me to interview you. I have learned so much from our interactions, and I look forward to all the many, many interviews between us, where you interview me and I interview you and everything like that. And please, everybody, listen to this video. Listen to it twice. Listen to it once with words. Listen to it once without words. And listen to it upside down as well. And then you'll get all the meaning from a message. And then when you've listened to the message, think about it, meditate, and become the message. And then you'll be with us. You'll have joined the club of 5D happiness.
It's
Namaste.
True. Thank you. Oh my God, it's so true. You can look into people's eyes and you can tell when their heart is activated. And that is the super friends all around the planet that I'm talking about. And yes, I have a website. Yes, you can book me to speak. But the fact of the matter is that where it really lives is when two beings look at each other in the eye and they know that they know that they know. Thanks, Alan. All right.
Yeah.